some people have accused me of being a germaphobe, and that is not true. I am here to prove them false. It's not like I tap every post I see or chip ice out of freezers so that then the freezer can be clean, nor do many, many other things. Now, to do this, I figured a video would be good, but since it's a YouTube video, I have made a list. Top 10 list of reasons I'm not a germaphobe, because a germaphobe wouldn't, starting off with number 10, share pills with people like ibuprofen at work. You know ibuprofen, how it comes in a bottle? Here, let me go grab it. Got it. Okay, so ibuprofen, it comes in this bottle, and in order to get out the amount that you need, you dump it into your hand. Uh-oh, I grabbed too much. So I'm gonna pour some of it back in. Now I can take the amount that I want. A germaphobe wouldn't do that at work because they would know and they would think about every single time they look at it, hey, other people's hands have been touching those pills. So if I were a germaphobe, I wouldn't do that. But I'm not a germaphobe, so I do. Okay, moving on. Number 9. I tie my shoes and then I don't wash my hands. But I think about it every time I do. But like if you tie your shoes and then try to wash your hands, you either have to have like a room for it, or you need to be able to walk through your house with your shoes on. Ugh. Yeah, and the germaphobe also wouldn't eat an orange after doing that. Frequently I'll get in the car, I'll have just tied my shoes, I'll start opening an orange and peeling it and sort of a thing. Number 8, I use plastic forks from fast food restaurants. You know, at one of the Mexican bowl places with the burritos or the bowls, they have just plastic forks out in the open for everybody to grab. Anyone could just let their greasy hands pick up a handful and drop them back in. I don't bring my own fork. If I were a germaphobe, I would either bring my own fork or I would not do that. Moving on to number 7, I've worked at a summer camp. And I worked at a summer camp as a lifeguard. And as a lifeguard, we cleaned the bathrooms. And if I were a germaphobe, I wouldn't have been able to do that because the bathrooms for kids at a summer camp get dirty and gross. Right on to number 6. Occasionally, sometimes, not very frequently, I'll wear socks 2 days in a row. Not like it's because I'm on a work trip and have forgotten my socks, so I have to. But like if I were a germaphobe, I would have found some way to get them clean or buy new ones. But yeah. Well, we're halfway through, and I figured I had just a few other thoughts about how I'm not a germaphobe because I don't do these things. So let's just run through that list. Let's see. In the past, I've picked my nose. I don't frequently wash my phone. I use hand dryers. You know how gross hand dryers are? I only think about it a little bit when I wash my hands and use them. I can't spell the word mask. I take communion from a common cup and bread. I don't scrape clean my fingernails every hand wash. I've swum in public pools. I was once on a swim team, and I would occasionally not wash my hands mid-practice after having gone to the bathroom. See? A germaphobe would have to wash their hands, even though the chlorine in the water probably kills everything, and it's probably fine. And you probably aren't swimming in a lot of other people's pee all the time, constantly. But if I were a germaphobe, from those thoughts, I'd never be free. I've swum in lakes and oceans and worst of all, ponds. You've seen ponds before, right? Disgusting. But a germaphobe wouldn't swim in them. Me, being not a germaphobe, I have gone swimming in them. Does that prove it to you? Further, I use public hot tubs. I've stayed at overnight hotels and only brought my pillow. I did use their sheets. Germaphobe would have brought their own sheets. Me though, not a germaphobe, just brings my own pillow. I have never washed my winter jacket. I've used public transit before in Tokyo. So anyway, I eat pizza from Casey's and other gas stations. I eat gas station food. Ooh. I eat at potlucks. I eat at buffets. Anyone can just make that food. And you don't know where they've been. A germaphobe wouldn't do that, but I do. I don't wash my hands before every single time that I eat. Germaphobe would. I've been to the Iowa State Fair before, and I've been to other fairs in general. So that is the list of honorable mentions. That there's not a lot to them, but just look. I've got a lot of reasons that I'm not a germaphobe, okay? All right, top 5. We're into the final 5, the big ones. I haven't gone to a car wash this year or month, or for sure not this week. And there's some dust that I can see, and I can run my finger along it and go, and I'll see that, and I won't clean it every single time I see it. If I were a germaphobe, you can bet even your top dollar that I would do that. I occasionally share drinks with people. Norwex water combo. Oh, okay, so I grew up in a Norwex household where we would use Norwex, and I would only ever put water on the Norwex and then wipe down surfaces with it. If I were a germaphobe, I would not be able to trust that. I'd have to use multiple cleaning chemicals at the same time, probably, maybe. Except for ammonia and bleach. I'm told they don't mix well together. Except they do keep things really clean, so I wonder why they don't mix well together. But I know that they don't. I use public toilets. See, if I were a germaphobe, I would never be able to use public toilets. It's good. I'm not just thinking about it and getting grossed out. I'm fine. You're probably the germaphobe. If you picked this video to watch, it's probably you that's a germaphobe, not me. And then the last one that I do that a germaphobe wouldn't, and that I've given only a little bit of time to thinking, is I will drink soda cans right off of a gas station shelf. I need you to understand why that's a big deal. Here, let me go get a can. Okay, I'm back. So you see this can? You see how this part is just open to the air? When you drink, what do? You put your mouth on that part. You go, and then you tip it back and you drink it. But it's just sitting in a cooler, or sometimes just on a shelf, and anyone could touch that in that gas station. And who knows where people's hands have been before they would touch a soda can at a gas station. They could pick it up and put it right back down, and there's no way of knowing. And you never wipe off the soda cans. You just drink them. But I do that so you can be sure that I'm not a germaphobe. Okay, that was all. That was my top 10 list, plus a few more reasons why I'm not a germaphobe. If you're not convinced, leave a comment and let me know why. Tell me what you think would make it more convincing, and I'll figure out how to do that. But in the meantime, have a nice day. Remember to wash your hands. Oh, and as a bonus, just like all of the ways that you eat out, you don't know where the people in the back are. You just give them so much trust, which is just another thing. Like, I'm a trusting person because I eat out, and I will occasionally do things where I trust that the people serving me are making the food well. Anyway, that's all.